Hello! Hello, 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 hello. And also, hello. Dear Miss Kink Vader! Oh no! Hello. How are we doing? We having a good time? Are we having a good Wednesday? Woden's Day? Everybody done your daily prayers to Woden? Guess you snowed in again! Oh no! But at the same time, oh yes? Depends on your perspective. You hate locks. Oh no, they're cute. They're a damn menace. Only if you keep getting close to them. Leave them alone and they're cute. Yeah. Hi. Hope we're all having a good time. I was going to try a thing, but I think I've opened up the wrong version of OBS, so I can't. Which is annoying. Hang on, let me see. Is it here? Is that... No, it's fine. Next time, maybe. That is a parsnip. It is. But it's more than just a pass. We'll get to it next time. Unless I can restart the stream. But that feels a bit overkill for something that isn't finished yet. Hi. You have canned food and lots of Kokovics. More than just a parsnip. Yes. By day, it's a mild-mannered parsnip. But by night, it's an angry parsnip. You have food. Woke up to thunder snow. That sounds like a glam metal band. Purely in the name, of course. I'm sure glam metal bands are a bit more tonal. Yeah. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Bioshock. Bioshock Öfner. Yeah. I guess we should have a recap of what happened last time. Some stuff. Thunder snow. Yes, snow and thunder. So last time, if you missed it, this isn't gonna make sense. Last time we went to a place called the Hall of Heroes because we needed some magical elixir to get through a door. Basically, a key. Why it was here, I don't know. But the Hall of Heroes, it's a museum to celebrate all of Columbia's finest heroes, who obviously, given Columbia's moral compass, they're all bastards. Unfortunately, it's currently under siege. You are not the only person causing problems here. There was a chap, what was his name? Thaddeus Gajibli, I believe, who Jack is familiar with. They had dealings with one another back in the past times. And apparently he's holed up here fighting against the Columbia authorities because he takes issue with things that Father Jefferson has been doing, or saying rather. And you arrive and he's like, Jack, I remember you. You're a solid sort. You've come here to fight with me against Jefferson and his changing of history. And we're like, no, not really. We just come for some zappy stuff. We've unfortunately decided to rewatch playthroughs of Uncharted, so naturally you now have a handful of new husbands. Oh no, so many husbands. Yeah, and he's basically, he's having a time. And he is disillusioned with the fact that his history, his, past has been taken away from him by historical revisionism. And as a consequence, he demands either retribution or a soldier's death. And as a consequence, he just sends loads of his soldiers after you, who also theoretically fall under that category. You give them a soldier's death because you kill about 700 people in this game. And you carry on through bits and pieces of this museum, which show you some of the proud history of Columbia, including bombing Peking in the during the Boxer Rebellion, and the Wounded Knee. Sorry, I was going to say broken leg. Wounded Knee. The Wounded Knee, at the time, I believe it was called the Wounded Knee Uprising. We now refer to it as the Wounded Knee Massacre. I think that tells you pretty much all you need to know. And it turns out Jack was at both of them. He was essentially a hired mercenary that was sent in to deal with these things. He also worked with the Pinkertons to break up strikes. So he's had a bad time, and he's not happy about any of it, and would just rather get out of it, quite frankly. Jack's awful. Jack has done awful things, but at the very least knows that they were awful. So that's something. It's better than most people in this game. Half of them die by the end of their respective game, but you're fine. Don't worry about it. It's just headcanons and all AUs and such. No problem. Nadine and Chloe could kick your ass and you thank them. You got like back problems or something. Jack should just really crash the city and finish the job. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Unfortunately, I presume each of the flying... We don't really know how it flies. We just know it's women's intuition. That's what we know. We then come to the last place, which Thaddeus refers to as Jefferson rewriting his own history, and it's all about his late wife, Lady Jefferson. I can't remember if we ever learned her name. Who apparently bore a child, a miracle child, who was only in the womb for a week. And shortly after giving birth to the miracle child, was killed by the anarchist Jefferson Beaverworth. Who was just there waiting to strike. I think she was a servant at the thing. Who is still in hiding. Is still running around doing evil stuff. And so to protect the child was placed inside a tower until it deems such... Sorry, not the child, the seed of the prophet. That's the one. And the phrase, I believe, is, the seed of the prophet shall sit the throne and drown in flame the mountains of man. A lot of phrases in this game that are said so many times they just get drilled into your head. It's a bit louder than it needs to be, thank you. I like you, Grim Fandango, but calm down. I know you're being stupid, but was the Pinkertons while women fought to vote? No, that was the suffragettes. Maybe the Pinkertons were in for that, but the Pinkertons were largely for just like, hey, these people are striking, let's make them pay. And it was basically big companies saying, you shouldn't have the things that you're striking for, so we're just going to screw you over. And the Pinkertons helped with that. Yeah, Jack's had a bad time. Anyway, it was here we discover essentially that Issa is the daughter of the Jeffersons, and she's only just found this out as well, and she's not happy about it. Particularly the bit about her sitting upon the throne and drowning in flame the mountains of man. I believe Jack says something along the lines of, you know, it looks like he wants you to follow in your footsteps, and she says, well, I want a puppy, but we don't always get what we want. So yeah, canonically, Issa wants a puppy, and I think she should get one. From what you understand, the Pinkertons were also kind of a bad prelude to the FBI. Oh. Issa's so bad. Issa's probably the least problematic person in this game. Although it's a low bar, really. Issa deserves a puppy. Issa, get puppy. Right. Yes, and we carry on through. Mechanical George Washington start firing guns at us for no reason. And we come across Thaddeus Gajibli, who asks us to shoot him because he wants a soldier's death. Last time you decided, no, we won't shoot him, and we're just going to leave, despite the fact that Jefferson's forces are surrounding this building and are going to do whatever they're going to do to him when they get him. We throw away the gun and it goes all glitchy on the ground, but don't worry about it. And we get the shock jockey, and we can leave and go on the gondola up to the thing, and we get into the big old balloon, which we wanted to get to in the first place, so we can get out of here. And he says like, oh, I can't wait to see Paris. It's going to be amazing. I love Paris. And then she notices that the coordinates that you've put into the thing don't say Paris, they say Manhattan. And so distraught by this, she just smacks you over the head with a wrench, and knocks you unconscious. Again, valid. Very low bar of what you're getting from this story. Yeah. We then half wake up to discover that the ship has been taken over by a bunch of rebels, a bunch of people from a group called the Vox Populi, who we have heard here and there scattered around. And indeed, we have Jefferson Beaverworth is here. And she says that she's taking over this for the sake of the Vox. And that she wants us to help. And Jack says, I don't really have any sort of hand in this argument. To which her response is, you with us or you're against us? Here's a business card. Go down to Terminaton and get me some guns. We're gonna have an uprising, and we need guns. If you can get us that, we'll give you your ship back. And then she kicks you off the ship, and you land in Terminaton. And I hope that all makes sense, as she has the legal right to do. Yeah. Now, last time I did say that it won't be that long before we... Sorry, I'm just wanting to get the colour. It won't be that long before we start getting into more of the wibbly-wobbly fun stuff and further away from the races. Because it's a bit heavy, this game. Unfortunately, we've just landed in a slave camp, essentially. How can I describe this? So it's not going to be immediately. Like a kind of chain gang kind of thing. So you fully understand what's happening, and you explained it well, but you don't get it. I read a very good, succinct review of this game the other day that was doing the rounds on the internet, and I really wanted to share it, but spoilers, and it's just like, yeah, that sums up all my problems with this game. This game is absurd. But I also love its weird wibbly wobbly absurdities. And basically everything else it tries it kind of fails at. But don't worry about it. We need falls from an airship and knocked unconscious counter. It happens a lot. Yeah, so Terminaton. Some things that happen here. So Terminaton is basically a sort of factory. It's technically not slavery, but it's in all but name, really. It is owned by somebody who likes to plaster his face all over the place. Who I will draw here, because you can't stop me. And who you may guess from why I keep calling it the good old technically not slavery. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. Oh, hello. Allow. There we go. You can now. It's fine. My apologies. They're just unpaid interns. They're paid. We'll get to that. Like I say, it's technically not slavery. Yes, so this is, if you recall, which there's every reason not to. This was about 2 months ago. I can't remember if I gave him hair, so I'm just gonna maybe like a little sort of widow's peak sort of thing. This is Gregoris Termini, the person who is behind all of the magical vigors and various other things. The handyman that we saw earlier on was also one of his. As is basically every sort of technological thing you come across here in Colombia. Autobot hates cheap. It's need to have words. I'm It's got a sort of big old logo. Honestly, choosing the name Termini kind of works for this, because it's like, if you find yourself here, you're at the end of the road. You ain't going anywhere else. It's got a lovely lettering on the name as well. Again, the visual design in this game is very, very good for the era, you know, which just works really well. Unfortunately, it's in service of racists. Baby dinosaurs, yeah. It's because you swear. I can't remember what it was last time. Anyway, what we also have are some big speakers, which are blasting out a piece of music, which is very unsettling, I would call it, but in particular rhythmic. It's got a very strong... Oh, there we are. Last week was Whores. Also this week, apparently. Of course it was Whores. It was the Hall of Whores. So yeah, big speakers all blasting out this sort of mind-numbing music, which has a very strong bang on the offbeat, during which you are supposed to do your work. And so there are people who are like, it's like sort of big floating platforms coming out like that. And on some of them, there's like big chunks of rock and stuff that people are smashing with hammers. The literal sort of chain gang sort of thing. People here sort of like, and they're all doing it in time because they've just been doing it for like 8 hours and their minds are being destroyed. Others are like washing things. Others are, you know, scrubbing the floor. Some are like fixing or assembling components and stuff. Basically, lots and lots of work. Oh, for God's sake. Auto mod, please. There is mucho censorship today. This is like, this stream is like registered for over 18s. Like, this is not a... I'm not a particularly, you know, mature streamer in many senses of the word. But I do at least set it to over 18s for times like this, you know? And then got the big balloons underneath and stuff. We're still floating. We're still on a floating city. So yeah, there's basically lots of slavery sort of stuff going on, and there's big... This is like a dock, so there's sort of lots of things being piled onto big old flying boats that can be sort of shipped out, lots of big containers and stuff full of bits. And you find some things here. You find appalling working conditions. But beyond that, a audio log of somebody talking about how Grigori Terminus has given her husband a new lease on life because he worked in the tower, if you recall. The one that said, hey, do you remember when we went into Issa's tower and they were like, if you go this far, then you have like 3 weeks of quarantine before you can go back, etc., etc. Anyway, inexplicably, while working in the tower, her husband developed multiple types of cancer. And apparently Grigori Terminus turned around and went, well, I can help you with that. I can turn your husband into a handyman. And she's like, well, I guess, you know, he's not exactly the same anymore because he's a big hulking robot thing. But better a husband encased in metal than no husband at all, I guess. So yeah, that's what sort of, that's a Termini thing. Said it's rated 18 because of you. Well, no, I join in as well occasionally. I could have left out the Hall of Whores. I could have done that. I just think it's funny. Just the baby. When I was just a baby. When I was just a train. Yeah, so there's like a dock area and there's some stuff. It's the architecture's nice. The contents of what's happening isn't. Anywho. Can I like ban some of those words? I could ban uwu, couldn't I? There's no point really. You get the gist of what's happening here. There's like indentured servitude of some description. I literally have an uwu command. Yes, and no one can use it. Actually, that's the point. Is text-to-speech working again? I hope so. Because otherwise I don't know how to fix it. Yeah. Ooh. Hey.
Oh, Hazel, have you come out of retirement?
Oh. Got a little stammer there. That's alright, you're warming back up, you had a bit of a rest.
Have you started paying me yet?
Anyway, so we carry on through Terminaton, which is a place full of, you know, poorly paid indentured servitude. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't know who'd do that. And we open some doors and we look through, as Jack tends to. 'Tis his prerogative, of course. I remember how to draw him. A lot of looking through doors. Because, you know, it's a simple thing to draw.
What I do is technically not slavery.
See? See, it's fine. Yeah, we look through. This is what I get for trying to use a bigger brush so that I don't focus on detail, as it looks awful.
This is not a cry for help.
Wonderful, good to know. And of course, now that you've said that, if anybody considers that it is a cry for help, then they are obviously liable for me suing them for misrepresentation.
There is no gun. I am doing this by free will.
See?
Really, this constant blinking is not a sign.
She got something in her eyes, it's fine. Why did I switch to the thinnest brush on earth? Because I was trying with the thicker brush to speed up, but it looked terrible, so I stopped. Yeah, you peek through a door. I still care about the details. That's what I'm trying to do, but it looked bad. We have fun here. Let's draw through another illustration. I know. Anyway, we open a door, and we see, in the distance, Issa. Issa is running away. She's like, nope, I don't want anything to do with you. Screw you. Because she got kicked off the ship as well.
We all have fun here, including me, who is here out of their free will, definitely.
See? Yep. See? Nothing to see. So yeah, he's like, screw you, I'm running away. And to that end, she starts opening tears. Do you remember that she can do tears? Why is Issa here? She was also on the ship with us. But when it got taken over by people, she ran away, so she's obviously not too far away from us, and we found her. The Vox took over the ship, so she didn't have anywhere to go, so she's just sort of on the run as well. How do people run? So like that. Is that a run? Yeah, so she can open tears, which is a thing she can just open rents in the fabric of reality to allow new realities in. It is a theme. And she can do this when she is feels that she's in some sort of danger or trouble or needs some sort of help. And so she does that while you're chasing after her, and she opens up like tears into like a big parade so that a bunch of people get in your way, or to like a big cloud of balloons inexplicably that just sort of arrives and you have to walk through those. And along the way she keeps getting sort of harassed by people who are working at this port. She's like tries to stow away on a ship, and someone's like, you know what we do, those pretty little stowaways, and then she runs away from that. Again, low bar to be the nicest person in this city. She's been a captive, can't imagine she has much running experience. I mean, probably not actually, but it goes to show just how well she does do. She does a lot of walking around and running. Choose. Kind of. Also, the problem with using the small brush is that you can sort of barely see the detail when I zoom out because of the background. Maybe I should level out the background a bit. More like that. Can I help? That's fine. Let's use the lining pencil. You can see it a little better. Two of the same pencil. The only difference is that one of them is a lot more sensitive to pressure, so that when I do lines, I don't have to press as hard. Always make brushes suitable for the kind of work that you're doing. Don't do things you don't have to. Rest your wrist, etc., etc. Try to make it look like she's running. She's just sort of stomping off. Issa is continuing her tradition of not looking anything like herself. That's also happening. Why does everyone in Colombia suck? When can we crash this place? Yeah. Oh, we're in a forced labor camp. How big is this place? Big. It goes on for a while. And yeah, this just sort of keeps happening. We keep chasing her. She goes for a wall and gets captured by some people, and we're like, oh crap. And then we fight some soldiers to try and save her, but then she just runs away again because she's like, I just don't want to be captured by soldiers, but I still don't want to be anywhere near you. And then as we're trying to get to her, a friend jumps down from one of the roofs. I've got to remember how to draw this now. Get something like this. Just expect when the characters look like themselves at this point. What character have you ever drawn that looked like that? I mean, yeah. So yeah, just in case you forgot what I was talking about, the handyman before, the handyman, one has come to say hello. Gonna be a bit simplistic about the design. It's fine. Jack, just should go down and you can get up with the prompts. I mean, unfortunately, the prompt is usually done by her, so she usually gets you up. And if she's the one that's down... You know, that's like saying, oh, don't worry about taking damage, the medic will heal you. Oh, you're the medic, okay. Yeah, let's see how well I can remember what this thing looks like. Probably not very well. Jack, shoot yourself. I did, during this section, accidentally jump off the side of a building and I just sort of reappeared on the land. It's fine. There is, I guess, a canonical explanation to that, which we can't get to yet. So yeah, the handyman, if you recall, which you may well not, is like a sort of a person cyborg thing who's just sort of been crammed into a big old metal body, and their sort of heart is visibly on display. Guess where their weak point is? It's got lots of tubes coming out of it. But they're also big. So, you know, they can do a lot of manual work. The crotch. Yes, there's inexplicably just a piece of metal down here that's sort of painted like a target. If you shoot that, the head falls down into like a bucket of water and you win a prize. But what the handymen are, apart from loud, very loud, they got this sort of metallic, raspy voices that are shouting very loudly. There is an explanation, but is it one that will make you be mad? Oh yes! I guarantee you, due to the nature of this game, there is an explanation for whatever question you're about to throw at me. And the explanation is the same for all of those questions. It is a valid explanation, but I don't think it's a satisfying one. Yeah. There's like big old arms. With big old hands. This looks absolutely nothing like what this looked like in the game, but it's fine, don't worry about it. I could have just copied and pasted my picture from the beginning of the game, but it's fine. They got big hands. Handymen have big hands. So yeah, handyman comes along and just throws you off the side of the building. Just out into the middle of nowhere. Yowie hands? You've said that before. I think I've forgotten what that means. Is it an anime? Is it an animu? We talked about this last time. I only know 3 animus. 3 Japanimations. Because there are only 3. Ignoring, you know, the knockoff work of Mr. Ghibli. Maybe we were just falling from something counter? Oh, just a falling from something counter. That does happen a lot, particularly when your set piece is a city in the sky. Going on up to the city in the sky. That's where I'm gonna fall when I die. When I fall under the image to rest, I'm gonna buck or catch. So yeah, he's got big hands, and he grabs you, and he throws you off the side of the thing while shouting, because there's no manners. Issa, meanwhile, is still sort of running away. We're at 3 now, 4? Can't remember. There was there's the fall from the tower. There was fall into the tower. Fall from the tower onto the beach. There's this. There was the fall. We got kicked off the ship. Was there one in between? It's at least 4, maybe 5. There's probably like wires coming out of your head as well. There's a cyborg, steampunk cyborg. Probably also some cables coming out of here. All these sorts of things. Doesn't really matter. Just trying to give you the basic idea. Where you draw Suzuki, she has massive eyes. Although having actually replaying this game, generally speaking, people look stylized, but not that much. And Issa always stood out as being particularly Disney. You know, she looked like she was like, you know, Belle from Beauty and the Beast or something. Similar outfit. And so she had quite big eyes. But also, Jefferson Beaverworth also has quite big eyes. So maybe next time I draw her, I've got to draw her with big eyes. I'm gonna humping away. Now, as you're flying through the air, you land on one of the big old crates that's being hauled by a floating thing. And the handyman picks up like a manhole and just flings it like a frisbee and breaks the ropes that are attaching it up on something. I don't know why it's hanging on ropes. Thanks to FF7, we all know big eyes are genetic. If they're genetic, shouldn't Jefferson have big eyes? Is she really the mother? Family drama. Jefferson was having an affair with Jefferson Beaverworth, and the wife found out and killed her and framed Jefferson to cover the scandal. Don't ask why Issa's just completely white-skinned. So yeah, we fly through the air, we land on a thing. And then the thing stops being a thing anymore, and we fall again. So 5 on the counter, technically. You're right there, Jack. You have very low expectations of Jefferson at this point. You found out the truth when looking up Issa's height. No. You don't think Jack's been alright during a single moment of this story? He's not had a good time. It's not quite been going to plan. Then again, the plan was a little too simple for how weird it was. He was fine on the boat. He was a little confused as to what was going on, and nobody was talking to him, so probably not. He kept going, excuse me, what's happening? And they just ignored him. Anyway, yeah, flying through the air, etc., etc. However, Issa has a little bit of, not exactly a change of heart, but a little bit of a kind of, yeah. And opens up a tear so that a weather balloon, exists beneath you, which you slam into and then hang from a rope. So I might as well just do that. I was going to do the flying through the air, but I guess hanging from a rope is probably just as good. Ah, it's like the FF8 draw through. This Columbia is definitely not as he was drowned. Throwing things, stabs. What? Oh, since Columbia, definitely not as he was drowned. Thrown off things, stabbed. You wanted to save the innocent violin man. Very innocent. What's yeah? What's wrong with just people busking and oddly asking for hot dogs? Don't know what kind of problems you might have there. So yeah, we're down here dangling from a balloon, and Issa goes, right. Okay then. What do you want? And we say, I know how to get the balloon back. And Issa says, why on earth should I trust anything you have to say? And you say, it's fine, don't worry, but we can get out of here. All I need to do is get enough guns to arm an entire uprising. Don't worry about it. And Issa's like, you're a liar, you know that. I don't trust you at all. But everyone else here wants to kill me or capture me. So you might be my only way out of here. And so you have a tentative reunion, which from now on she has a constant look of suspicion on her face every time you go near her. There's a balloon. It's supposed to be a weather balloon, but now it's just a big whatever. Yeah, she's like, you're a liar, but you're my only way out of here. So for now, don't think I trust a single word you're saying. Oh, also during an altercation with somebody, the person who was like, you know, we did a pretty little stowaways, etc. Her shirt got ripped as she was trying to get away. That is somewhat important. Not that important, but somewhat. So yeah, you go, yeah, there's a guy in Terminaton, and we can get guns off him. It'll be fine. Would you get those? Get the ship back, and then whatever. We'll go to Paris. And naturally, she does not trust you. But again, tentative relationship. We're gonna go to Paris? Actual Paris? Issa deserves it. Yes, definitely. That is the intention, and that is how it's gonna go. No problems whatsoever. So yeah, her top got a bit ripped at the shoulder. It's fine. Nothing she can't deal with. I think this pretty much sums up their relationship. You don't need no man. Unfortunately, she needs somebody to do the killing. And that's us. Or if you're like me on my recent playthrough, just a lot of running past enemies. And she can do that quite well. There was one point in my recent playthrough where she managed to teleport 3 stories down just by me looking away and looking back. So she's clever. Issa just looks angry Jack got the balloon right. She made the balloon. The balloon's all glitchy. So she could get rid of it at any point. She could end the game now by just having us plummet down to our deaths. Glitchy balloon. It's the Taz. So yeah, eventually, it's almost an hour already. 45 minutes of stream, I guess, but oh dear. Haven't done anything, right? So we form a tentative alliance, and we. Oh yeah, there's that area. I only played this the other day. I don't completely. This is why I was playing it, because there's a lot of this game that could just really be rearranged and you wouldn't notice. Okay, so you now arrive at, I guess, an entrance to Terminaton, which is weird given that you were just in it. You got thrown off it, I guess. And so there are a lot of people arriving in Terminaton and like saying goodbye to their families and stuff as they, oh, I've come to work here because we have no money. Don't worry, I'll be back as soon as I get enough money to look after ourselves. Spoiler alert, they won't. And you get in and there's like people just queuing up for work, and people say, there's no more work, go away, etc. And you find a bunch of things here. I'm going to draw a lift. And I'll just explain what you find here. There's a lot of lifts in this game. You will find that. Yeah, you find a voxophone. A recording that somebody has made. That somebody being Gregoris Terminaton. And he leaves a recording basically saying, you know what? I don't believe in any of this prophecy nonsense. I don't think Father Jefferson is I don't think he can read the future. I think he's full of crap. But I recognize a business opportunity when I see one. And I recognize somebody who can't do their own business. So I know that if I set up shop with this influential, delusional, egocentric idiot, that will give me the opportunity to make a lot of money. So yeah, it's like, I believe it's sort of like, yeah, he needs me. He needs me. Without me, he's just a mouth. Who says this? This is Gregory Terminaton. Mustachioed, not slave owner extraordinaire. Person in charge of this place. He for some reason left a audio diary just laying around. That happens a lot in these games, don't know why. The Scalene Triangle. I love money, I so love money, I'm so delightfully evil. I'm twiddling my moustache as I record this. So yeah, he's just sort of like... He's, unsurprisingly, a cynical businessman. However, you also find some other stuff after fighting a lot of enemies. You find Why do you find this here? It would make more sense to find it when you get to the There's a police impound that you come to later. It would make more sense for it to be there. But no, you find it here for some reason. You find the diary, an audio diary, no, actually a physical diary and an audio diary, of Thaddeus Gajibli. Do you remember him? This is the guy you left to just whatever happened up in the thing. He didn't give you the thing, and so you just sort of didn't shoot him and left. Turns out his office is here. He had an office. Who'd have thought? But what he found... Oh no, it wasn't his diary. Ooh. Yes, I'm allowing whore. Sorry, whore, end quotation marks. That's what I allowed. Can we erase the audio of that diary entry and just record, this is the diary of Gogoros Termina, and I'm a racist, sexist, capitalist whore. I mean... The sexist bit is questionable. I don't know how there was that weird diary of like... you could argue that all we heard about the sexism thing was that he's actually pro-women soldiers. That's about as much as we know. Capitalist, not sure. Racist, definitely. You know, you get the full spectrum of horrible in this game. Not everyone has to be all of them. But together, they are truly awful. So, yes, sorry, it's not his diary that you find. It is a diary that he found. How he found it, I don't know. He probably is. Oh yeah, we don't really know anything. The character's not very well developed. We don't really learn about his attitudes towards a lot of things. All we know for certain is that he's massively racist. But again, that doesn't narrow it down here. He was okay with military equality, which was good, but he did everything else, which is bad. He's happy for women to be soldiers. This is about as much as we can say, really. Don't know if he's happy about women to do anything else. Anyway, yes, you find his locker. And in amongst his locker, you find a couple of things. But in particular, you find a diary. And it's not his diary, as I misremembered. It is Lady Jefferson's diary. Hello, Frame-Man, how are you doing? I know, it's a shocking revelation. The diary of the late Lady Jefferson. And basically, Gajibli leaves in his little audio diary next to it. How scandalous, yes. That he discovers that Lady Jefferson didn't really take kindly to this whole miracle baby thing, and couldn't stand being around the kid. Absolutely hated the kid, and that's why she was put in a tower. And there was quite a lot of argument going on between Lady and Lord Jefferson prior to her death. So, yeah. And this may very well be one of the things he was referring to when we went into the Hall of Heroes, nay Halls. And he said, look how Jefferson has rewritten his own history, and then invited you into the bit about Lady Jefferson. There might be a little bit of, wait for it, historical revisionism going on. Who'd have thought? You also respect that Lady Jefferson didn't want the whole savior baby thing. She was dubious about a lot of things, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so you have, and Issa, obviously hearing this, is like, oh, great. Now I learned my mum didn't want me. So yeah, things are poor Issa, yeah. So yeah, she has another bit of a kind of like, why, what is it about me that everybody seems to have problems with, apart from the whole rending reality apart? I guess. Unfortunately, We are arriving in Terminaton, and I say unfortunately for several reasons. Firstly, because that means, sorry, Issa, your story's gonna have to wait a bit, because we're entering Racismville. There's a miss. Hello. Would you like a list? Franz list. I like La Campanella. Little bells. Speaking of bells, here's a clock tower. So as we descend in the lift, we see like views from the lift of like massive factories and all these sorts of things. And we see a clock tower, which I think is probably the best demonstration of what this place is like. Hello! You having a lovely start to the week, I hope so. Apologies for being late. Your ice skating lesson. Marvellous. How's it going? Also, no apologies. There is no late. You arrive precisely when you mean to. You have learned how to stop. Oh, that's no fun. Music. Thank you. So you're winning there. I know how to stop. Eventually there's a wall, right? Whoops. Kick the microphone. But yeah, well done. I very briefly did ice skating once, and I would have loved to have known how to stop. Wall, floor, people! How's the Drawthrough going? It's going fine. Is a brief recap of what's happened so far. We arrived in Terminaton, and there are people banging rocks to the rhythm of music, which is always a good sign. We also met a handyman, and Issa's mad at us because we didn't take her to Paris. We then got thrown off the building by a handyman, and Issa saved us begrudgingly because she knows that we're the only person who can get that ship back, even though she doesn't trust us anymore. And now we're going into Terminaton proper, having just learned that Issa's mum didn't want her. What did you do before you learned how to stop? It kept going. It's been a long time. You hate everyone except Issa. Well, that's not going to stop anytime soon, because we're now arriving in Terminaton, and there's a big old clock, which I like, because it's just so over the top. It's great. Oh, I should specify, like, there's, all the time this has been happening. Actually, I think there's only one hand on this. Let's have a go this way. All the time this has been happening, you've been hearing, pre-recorded Tannoy messages from Termini himself, sorry. Kept going until you A, ran out of momentum, or B, ran into a wall. And that's all you need. And, you know, they're saying things like, you know, if people keep asking me, why do I pay you in company credits and not money? Well, I'll tell you why, because I'm not having you being fleeced by somebody outside. You're gonna only buy my products so that I know you're getting good things. So yeah, this whole, you know, they're technically paid thing. What's the, is it chit? Is the expression? Script, something like that. How's it go? He is uber capitalist. Script, yes. Beg your pardon, crisp. It is. It's an anagram of crisp. Great, yeah. And then there's this clock, which I like, because it doesn't actually have time on it. What it has are zones. There's like a zone over here, and then like a little zone down here, and then one here, and it just tells you what you should be doing at any given point of the day. And some of them overlap because they're shifting around. It's all mechanical. And there's like this big one is this is all work. Work, please. Much of the day work, yes. That's the work zone over there. That's not enough, actually. Let's put it. Let's just join it up here. Mostly work. This is probably like sleep or something. Probably some eating going on. Prayer? Pretty sure that's a thing. And then there's another one back here that's probably like sort of like social time or something. Which is not today, unfortunately. Mostly work today. And yeah, you see like pictures of massive factories and you're not. I'm not paid shit. Yeah, and you see people just like walking around, like Metropolis. Just like loads of people are walking in time down corridors and big factories assembling things. Basically, all of the sort of peculiarly advanced modernities that you've seen up until this point, like the automatic automata things and all of the sort of robots that you've been possessing and all that sort of stuff. These things are being assembled here. Meanwhile, you get a phone call. The lift stopped, and you get a phone call. Should probably have thought about this before I did anything else, so I'm just going to do this and get a rough. Lisa's over here, she doesn't like you. I feel like you have this clock in your room. I don't have a clock, actually. You see, the problem with clocks is that they tell you when you need to stop. If you just simply get rid of your clock, you'll just keep going. It's like a metaphor for ice skating. Ah. Anyway, how's everybody's week going? Don't ever tell anyone in retail that logic. Can and will hurt you. How to arm? I don't know. One day we might find out. Scientists may one day discover how arm. But alas, not today. Anyway, sorry, you get a phone call. Which is a bit weird because you're in a lift. And yeah, you answer the phone, and the person on the other end says, "Is this Jack Walters?" You're like, "Yes." And they say, ah, fantastic. Gregoris Termini is expecting you. It's like, well, that's not very good, is it? He says, well, we're not here to see him. And I was like, please come to the... I can't remember where it is. The good fun time happy club. Where we will begin your interview. Which is a bit strange. And then he hangs up. Actually, is it actually Termini that calls you? It might be Termini. Oh yeah, because you see somebody at the bottom of the lift who gives you stuff. He looks like Oscar Wilde for some reason. Okay, it's actually Termini. It's like, ah, it's you, fantastic. I've had my eye on you. And I think you'll be a fantastic candidate for a new interview. Please come to the Happy Good Fun Time Club, and we'll assess your progress. And what Chibi has just typed in chat is very much the face that Issa pulls. And presumably Jack also pulls. Also, we are going to need a name for the gunsmith that we're going to see. We should probably have learnt that by now. It's on a card. Happy Good Fun Time Club sounds like a great place. I'm sure it's going to be lovely. Stop drawing shoes. How did necks work? Perhaps one day scientists will discover how neck. But alas, not today. Probably also Tom. Why not? Oh yeah, she's still wearing the thing. Because it's very important. Finally, some fun, some happy good time fun. Only the best happy good time fun at the Happy Good Time Fun Club. Happy good fun time. Fun, happy good time fun. Is it a duck quacking into the night, or is it a rabbit with a shotgun? Who knows? You chose it. You didn't choose the cage one. Choose the bird one. Oh yeah, that does remind me. Remind me when we get to the Happy Good Fun Time Club about birds.
Quack quack.
Oh yeah, she has a thimble on her finger. Quack quack. That is the sound that the shotgun makes with the rabbit. It goes, cocks it. Quack quack. Yeah, she's missing part of her finger, which she points out at this point. She's like, you're not gonna ask me about my finger? It's like, not really. She says, oh, I don't know what happened either. It's been like this since as long as I can remember. And then the conversation is never brought up again. Rabbit with a baseball bat. I just got a very vivid image of like a kind of cartoon rabbit with a baseball bat. It's kind of like a sort of mischief punk sort of rabbit. And now I want to draw it before it goes, but I can't. You know what happened to her finger. I'm doing a draw through. I'm doing a draw through. Honestly. Oh, she went ice skating. Oh, don't. No. I hate thinking about. My brain has very annoying, intrusive thoughts whenever I look at something sharp. Like we've got a meat skewer in our kitchen. Every time I walk past it, I'm like, no. And I get it. My brain's like, hey, if I keep reminding you of horrible things, maybe you'll be careful with this. I get it. I know why you're doing it, brain. I just wish you'd stop. I'm paranoid as it is. Oh, no, don't worry. It's fine. I exacerbate for comic effect. But it is annoying. Not you. The whole thing. Oh, I drew that phone for nothing, didn't I? Anyway, we make our way to... Yeah, what's the name of the arms dealer, the gunmaker, gunsmith? I should specify that this character is Chinese, I think. Pretty sure Chinese? Yes. And I'm not just saying that for no reason. That does relate to the story. Gets inscription flashbacks, yeah. Gunny. Good name. Gun Smith. Gunny Smith. I'm fine with Gunny Smith. That's nominative determinism for you, isn't it? Someone mentioned inscription. Nope. Nobody mentioned not. Gunny Smith. Okay, well, let's go visit Gunny Smith. There's Akiro. Hi. How you doing? We're in Terminaton. Everything's fine. People aren't slaves. It's good. So what do we see when we get here? Trying to remember. For making me think about inscription. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I have subsequently discovered, like, if you're worried about spoilers for the wider world of that game, mute until I delete this. That seems like a good system. Yeah. So you gone? Hopefully you gone about spoilers for the wider world of Inscription, right? Yeah? Okay, cool. Hitler's skeleton's in that game. I walked through Hitler's skeleton in that game. Like, it was huge. We walked into it. I didn't even realize. That game's wild. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, so what is it I know what we see. We don't see anything. Well, we'll get to that. So yes, you arrive at the bottom of the lift, and somebody who looks just like Oscar Wilde meets you. I believe his name is Flambeau, but he's completely not relevant to the story, so it doesn't matter. We see an empty canvas. We see a polar bear in a snowstorm, etc., etc. We see a snowman facing away from the camera on a bed of cotton wool. Yes, so, things. Usually when you say that, you need to have like kind of a follow-up so it actually goes somewhere. You know, a conjunction usually actually conjoins two things. rather than just having something at the beginning. There needs to be something at the end as well. Yes, Flambeau. Oscar Wilde is at the bottom of the lift, and he gives us some guns. He gives us a hand cannon, which sounds really cool. It's basically just a really, really powerful pistol. And he gives us all that on with thanks from on behalf of, with regards from my compliments to the chef of Grigori Terminus. So he's working Grigoris Termini. Got to get it the right way around. I'm not implicating either of those characters in what this guy does. So yeah, he's just giving us guns. Seems a bit strange. He's inviting us for an interview and he's going to give us guns. So yeah, and we arrive in what is Terminaton proper, I believe it's referred to as. And we see a bunch of things. We see like a labor market where there are people. I'm not bringing your son into this. Grigori is a good bean. I mean, he's not. He's evil, but he's the fun kind of evil. Him's a good lad who doesn't give a damn who or what you are. He'll scam you regardless. Equal opportunities scamming. He'd never. Also, how are you, Kira? Are you having a good time? Having a good week? Yeah, so you arrive and there's like a one of the first things you see is like a labor auction going on. There's a big board full of jobs. And people are like desperately auctioning to see who can do the work for the least amount of money. And people are just like so desperate they're trying to do as much work as physically possible for as little as possible because otherwise they'll get nothing. And there are people literally beating each other up trying to get these jobs and stuff. He's like, I need this, and just punches somebody out. So yeah, things are fine here. Do not fret. Big ol' yikes, I know. And so we go to Gunny Smith's gunsmith. And we get there and it's very quiet. Given that this is supposed to be a place that has a lot of machines. Because it's, a machining shop. And we go upstairs and we see that there's basically nothing there. All of the big old machines are gone. All of the tools are taken. Stuff has been ransacked. Not a good look, all things considered. Which is annoying because we need to get guns. And on our way up there, we come across a little shrine. A little shrine. Just sort of on the stairs somewhere. And it is a shrine to Buddha. I can't remember how the pose is. I apologize to any Buddhists out there. But we get Issa knows a little bit about Buddhism, and she informs Jack about it. Unfortunately, I also don't know an awful lot about Buddhism, and I don't have Issa here to tell me. So if anyone wants to tell me, that'd be great. Always good to share knowledge about belief systems and the cultures of the world. Am I going to need a reference for Buddha statue? But yeah, I think she mentions like the whole sitting under a tree for 40 days or whatever it was. Again, cannot remember details because I'm bad. And yeah, it's got like some nice candles around it, all lit up. It's a nice little shrine. And I think Jack makes a reference to like, pretty sure Jefferson's not going to be happy about worship of anyone that isn't him. And sure enough, when you come back down from being upstairs and seeing that there's no machines, she does. She says some nice things about him, I believe, which is good. It's quite nice sort of seeing the differences of viewpoint between Issa and Jack, because Jack's very sort of like, let's just get to the point, we're here to get guns, and Issa's like, there's this person and this culture and this is interesting and these people believe this and we should help these people and these people are nice, but also screw you, I'm gonna hit you with a wrench. Yes, we find... No, not Gunny Smith. We find... his wife, who is here, and who is crying. Which, again, always a good sign. And Jack, with his typical... you know, very, very personable ways, walks up to her and goes, hey, where's your husband? We need guns. Issa, however, is a little more sensitive, which is, in a sense, surprising, given that I don't know how many people she's ever met. You would have thought her personal skills would be, you know, leave a bit to be desired. I can't remember what she's wearing. I'm guessing some sort of traditional Chinese clothing, but I don't know anything about that, so... Jack is so sensitive. But yes, it's clear that Mrs. Smith is... I guess at least, you know, from China. English isn't her first language. She's speaking slightly in broken English, and she's sort of trying to say that they took him away. He's gone. They took him, and bad things are going to happen. And they took him. Guess where they took him? Yes, that's right. They took him to the Happy Fun Good Time Club. She's sad. Also you can find a voice recording of something by Jefferson Beaverworth here, so it's implied that he's had dealings with her before. So that might be why they have him. Is there like a thing? Something like that. Got a nice high collar thing going on. I can't remember. Anyway, she's sad. And Issa's, you know, much more sort of consoling of her and is like... Reddy's having the best time at the Happy Good to Fun Time Club. How could you not have it with a name like that? I know! How do hands work? Like this. Oh, not like that. She's also just trying to catch tears. Yeah, which is, it's not gonna, you're not gonna do much. Just gonna fall through your fingers. Oh, on a thoroughly unrelated note. I watched a documentary today that was just stuck up on YouTube by Aardman, I think it was made for their 40th anniversary or something. Which was a while ago, because apparently this year is their 50th anniversary. So yeah, they apparently made a documentary about those good GIFs that I keep posting, which is nice. So yeah, if you want to watch a little documentary about the history of Ardman and the Wallaces and the Grommets and the Chicken Runs and such, and the Shawnses, the Sheepses, I recommend it. It's a good time. David Tennant's in it. If you want to encourage Miss to watch something. Who? Oh, sorry, Crowley. Yeah, she's sad. Bad time. Best Boy. Best Boy is there. Because he did a voice in... Was it the pirate one? Can't remember. Either way, he's interviewed them. Also, you get to hear Peter Sallis not doing a Yorkshire accent, which is always weird. You see him in Last of the Summer Wine, you hear him as Wallace, and you think he has a Yorkshire accent, then you hear him, he's speaking quite a posh voice, you know. Then how they manage it, your students keep submitting files of the file type for homework. File.file. Nice. Yeah. So, things. So I just saw in my bot. This is Miss saying, who is it? Oh, Best Boy. Best Boy's in the documentary. Just Miss Art left. I don't know if that's true. My bot is a little iffy with people being here and leaving. It's just funny. You did. Now. You left. Oh. Can you go and tell yourself to come back, please? I miss you. Miss left to go watch the thing. It's an hour long. You'll miss the rest of the stream, and you definitely know you don't know what's happening next, do you? You are like the setting sun. Too far away. You're a mirage. You're not there. We are seeing a delayed version of you. Inexplicably, you're very good at predicting what we're going to say. So mysterious. There we are. And yeah. So let's go to the Happy Good for Super Fun Time Club. And inexplicably, it's got like a kind of cinema entrance sort of thing, and it's got the letters that you have in like a cinema entrance or theatre entrance or whatever. And the letters that are written up on the front spell out Jack Walter's interview today. Don't know how quickly they got those up, but whatever. And there's a whole sequence in here which I'm probably not going to bother drawing. What I will bother drawing is somebody. Well, it's a super happy fun time, right? I'm going to put an emphasis on time because there's a clock. Second clock that I'm drawing. This one does tell the time. Dot file is basically what Windows does when a file has no file type. Nice. This isn't the programming course, is it? And people are sort of like automatically generating files and forgetting to define the extension. It's going to be the most fun interview at the Super Happy Good Fun Time Club. It's a great time. Yeah. So there's a body hanging from the clock. He's got a moustache. And a big forehead, apparently. Super happy fun times. It is not. A lot of these should have been edited Word files or image scans. And you say this is happening like more than once. I should say that this person hasn't been like there's not a noose or anything. It's not like they have not been hanged. They have been hung. I think that's the right expression. And generally speaking, you can tell that because underneath the clock is like a big puddle of blood. So they've just been sort of killed and then stuck up there. So evidently this is a good time. Oh yes. The big coat or something, maybe. Yeah. And there's a hat on the floor as well. Now, this hat originally confused me because this is very similar to the hat of somebody that I talked about before who's like a kind of bounty hunter sort of person, or a hunter person hunting down Vox Populi people, and I thought, oh, is that guy? No, it's not. Just multiple people have cowboy hats with bullets in them. This has happened many times. Could there be like a kind of like paranoid hat on? Could there be like a kind of website or something that has things like solutions and answers to things that they're just downloading it from and ending it in? Oh, what did I say? Did I say a thing? Just say it's sort of attached with a rope or something. Just made you laugh? Yay, I made someone laugh. Yes, so there's a body hanging from the thing. Not great for them. Let's find out why. So then we go into the club itself. I'm not going to bother drawing the inside of the club itself. It's quite a nice sort of big, there's like a stage and lots of tables around it and like multiple floor layers and floors, and like you enter via a balcony looking over the top where there's a bar. It's big, it's quite nice. It's one of the reading questions, so the answer to is there something with answers in it is yes, the textbook. Yeah, but that involves effort. So watch your compilations when you need a gig. Oh, thanks. I'm glad people like them. I apologize, the streams have not been good enough to make more. Yeah, so you get inside the club and basically Termini says, "Ah, Jack, you're here. Just in time for your interview." And Jack goes, What are you talking about?" And Jack goes, "Well, I've been seeing you doing your thing around Columbia, and I thought, well, you know what? My old head of security just wasn't up to the job." This is the old head of security. Of security. And I guess like these were the old feet of security. And he goes, "Well, you know, a person like you has killed 700 policemen or so. I reckon you could be just the sort of person to be my new head of security. However, I'm going to need you to put you through an interview process." I deserve that, thank you. What is our thing? Our thing is the ability to massacre many people with a spinning hook on our hand. And so the fun thing is the jokes that make you laugh. That's great. I like making people laugh. The jokes that make you ... they're my favorites. Yeah, so he's like, oh, you need to go for an interview process left because you're not the only candidate. And then you get like a boss rush of a bunch of enemies. And then you do the boss rush. There's nothing really much. It's just a bunch of like, you fight a fireman, you fight one of the crow people, you fight a bunch of robots. It's all good. We're such a good person. Again, other than the policeman at the start that you ram the hook into, as in a cutscene, I wonder whether you actually need to kill anyone. It'd be interesting. We've got to start questioning if all of this is worth it when one of the worst people would hire you for the things you've done. He also knows about the Pinkertons. I think he talks about the Pinkertons. He knows a lot about you, apparently. But this is just on a wall up against the thing, and there's like a sofa here. That is a good quick sofa. Why can't I draw a good sofa like that when I need it? Like, it's just a bunch of squiggles, but like from that I could make a good drawing. Oh, there we are. Allow. Really, Twitch, is it really misogyny when it begins with he's? What does Autobot have against that word? Careful, word has many letters in common with whore. It might ban you for that. Remember, he word is an anagram of de whore. Men can be whores too. That's true, but it was flagged as misogyny. So I'm just saying that's what I was taking issue with. Plural is fine, I guess, or unless I've already accepted that earlier in the stream. Had permitted term whore. No, was it earlier than that? It doesn't matter. Oh, scroll. Automod has problems. I'm surprised it doesn't block Automod, to be honest. Yeah, so you go through the fight and you do this and that and shoot and bang and whiz and pop. And he says, congratulations, you've passed your interview. You can now be my new head of security. And Jack goes, I have no intention of being a head of security. I came here to get guns. And the guy said, oh, yes, I know all about your job for Beaverworth. Is it Beaverworth? Jefferson Beaverworth. I know all about your little job for Beaverworth, but I'll have you know I will put up a much better offer than that. And Jack says, we just want to do the job we have so we can get out of here. And this is when Terminite gets a little antsy. How does he know all of this? He knows. He has eyes and ears everywhere. Yeah, and this is when he starts getting a bit antsy, and he's the sort of like, well, you're a tough nut to crack, but I'll have you know I always get my way. Yeah, and he's not a nice person. Anyway, you go backstage. I was about to say behind the stage. That's kind of what backstage means. And you find a few things in there. I'm trying to think what you did. Oh, yes. You find a couple of things. You find another audio log. A lot of audio logs in this game. Voxophones. In particular, you find one of Terminite talking to his brother. Do we ever find out his name? Probably not. And yeah, apparently his brother for a while was having these sort of strange delusions of like other worlds and these holes that were appearing in the fabric of reality that allowed him to see into new worlds and hear strange sounds. And Grigoris's response to that was basically, "You're going nuts." But he says, I have subsequently discovered that you actually might have a point here because the music that you're making from this, these sounds that you're hearing, may actually be onto something. And then it sort of goes on to say that he sort of collaborates with his brother about these, these strange holes and the things that he can learn from the worlds on the other side. In particular, there are certain technologies and ideas that he can copy. Which is, I think, where he got the idea for the voxophone. There's also the technology of being able to... He looks into another world and he sees this strange technology that can turn man into machine. Which seems, irreversible, but might be very useful in certain circumstances. And I think you see that next to, like, a picture of Chicken. Remember Chicken? We haven't seen Chicken for a while. There's, like, blueprints and stuff like that. So basically, what seems to have happened is that his brother discovered these tears. Whether or not he has control over them is probably not. But they're just there. You remember Chicken? Yeah. And yeah, his brother was using it to listen to the music in the other worlds. And basically copied it and rewrote it and sold it and became very popular for his new fantastic music. Which is why at various points through the game you will hear old-timey versions of modern songs, like the Beach Boys song that we heard right at the beginning. He's doing interdimensional tech patent theft. Yes, so his brother, Gregoris, is going, well, you can stick with the music, brother, but I'm having the tech. So yeah, if you wanna reason why there are so many similarities in this world to the things in Bioshock 1, like, Vigors looking an awful lot like what are they called? Plasmids? And the handymen being and Chicken being a little bit similar to Big Daddies. There's a reason for that. That's a song, but this is a pigeon. There's a pigeon. Also, hi. That's a shark. So yeah, not only is he a horrible hashtag not slave owner. He also stole all of his ideas from other worlds. Final boss, pigeon. Yeah. So that's a thing. Just so you know. Another thing that you see while you're here is a pigeon. It's in a cage. You also see a couple of little boxes lying around here and there, which are like, it's not contraband per se, but like just little boxes which have like written on them, sort of like assets seized. I believe that's the phrase. Assets seized. Vox Populi. Sympathizers or something like that. And it's just like a few boxes here and there. Line up against them. You also see somebody. I guess I should specify the mood that's happening, because as you're going through backstage, you're starting to realize this isn't just backstage anymore. You start coming across like cell doors and like dungeony places with dungeony vibes. There are guards here with guns. Like this is not backstage of a show and that's it. Things are getting bleak. And you might now have an idea as to where our friend Gunny Smith is being held. Because remember, we are here to find Gunny Smith. In fact, to that end, we find a projector. And it's got like a reel in it. Which, for some reason, I have to draw perfectly. This is perfect. And the projector is like projecting onto a big thing. Why there is a projector here, I don't know. Well, I know why there is, because they needed it to tell the story they wanted to tell.
Judges harshly.
Hudges Joshly. Yeah, so there's a big old projector here, and you can turn on the projector. I think you have to, actually, and you see footage of
Hudges Joshly.
Hudges Joshly, my favorite R&B singer. He did Crazy, right?
Harsh Juggly.
What? Like, I know it was nonsense, but you could have at least got in with the spirit of it, Hazel. It's a little drunk. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, we see our good friend Gunny Smith, looking a little bit worse for wear, by which I mean just like 2 black eyes covered in blood. Things not going too well for them right now. Being interrogated, essentially. People sort of shouting at him, asking to know about where Jefferson Bufordworth is, and what he knows about her, what he's done for her, etc., etc. And they filmed it for reasons I don't understand. But it's there. And so, you know, not an ideal set of circumstances, but hey, maybe you can get him out of it. He's like sort of slumped over in a chair. Trying to illustrate that he's like really sort of puffy. He's been through some stuff. It's not a good time. Strangely, they're not of the 2 people we have seen tortured in this game. Both of them have been Chinese. I've just realised that. I mean, one of them got pecked to death by ostriches, which is a bit extreme, but no, a lot of the racism presented so far has very much been sort of, if you will pardon the double meaning, black and white. Definitely with, you know, references to like the Irish problem, as they say. Yeah, I think the only Chinese characters that you see so far are somebody who got tortured to death, another person who is being tortured to death, and his wife. So again, like, one of the reasons I wanted to do a draw through of this game is to analyze how this game like approaches its themes, and you know, I'm certainly not going to say that it succeeds in all of them. I don't think it succeeds there. I don't think it's. I think it succeeds at it as much as I'm succeeding at this sentence. It's Elden Ring tomorrow, so you can't wait for all the spoilers on Twitter. I have already blocked the word Elden. It won't stop them, but it's something. New Destiny yesterday. All the game content. Lovely. Yeah, so that's happening. Plants. I was going to actually do more plants. Maybe we'll do that on Friday during the hangout. We'll make a bunch of plants. Yeah, that's Oh, the face, the face of that onion compared to what are we looking at? You've misjudged the room, onion. A little more somber, please. Oh, I missed that one. Oops. Cute carrot. Reminds you of Cuphead. I was going for that kind of style with that one. So yeah, if you got any ideas for veggies, do throw them my way. No somber veggies. There probably aren't many somber ones. Maybe I should add some somber ones. No fun time here at the Super Happy Fun Time Club. It's like a sock puppet parsnip. Sock puppet. Incidentally, the Cuphead Netflix show is okay. Honestly, looking at it, I thought that's gonna be okay. I had a sneaking suspicion it would not be awful, nor would it be amazing. It would be what you expect. I would only watch it for the purposes of seeing the animation, because I think the animation in it would be really cool. But that's basically, you know, what they sold the game on, so... You know, it's a good gimmick, because it involves a lot of work. And it's good to appreciate that. Anyway, while we're going through here, through these cells, and most of the cells are quite empty. In fact, I will illustrate that by drawing an empty cell. We see a familiar face in one of the cells. Can you tell who it is? No, it's not you, happy-go-lucky turnip. So yeah, there's capacity here to fit a lot of people. I'm not going to bother doing that, so let's just do this. And then we can do it again. Then we can do it again. Powers of 2, everybody. Exponentiation, oh yeah. Just to illustrate that there's a boundary. And back here we got... well, let's have the perspective around there somewhere. I was about to put a window. We're underground. It's very retro and gives you nostalgia, but not much else. The animation is very good, yeah. What? Substitutionary locomotion? Substitutionary locomotion. It's a song? Substitutionary locomotion? I'll do the locomotion. Sits in age. You can't sit in age. Unless it's from the 50s, in which case fair enough. Because I'm from the 60s, so anything. That's a shoe. Yes, anyway, you look into one of the cells. And you see, sitting at a table. Who could it be? Who could it be? Ah, who could it be? Wonders. Thrills, delights. The anticipation is killing me. Or is that just my bad diet and poor exercise regimen? Draw the face. He might have had a big nose, can't remember. Then you turn the corner to find several cells that are else just a battery. Who is this? Does the eye patch help? Is it the guy? It's the guy. He's here. He's being tortured as well. He's still got those weird veins. I think they've done something to him. He's not responding. He's pretty sure he's alive. It's Gajibli. It's Thaddeus Gajibli. And he's just sort of sitting there, sort of staring into the middle distance. Anissa's like, right, well, I guess sparing him wasn't much of a mercy at all, really. Tips for Dora, Gajibli. Honestly, I for some reason I remember him being like all bruised and bloodied and stuff like that. But on my playthrough recently, he wasn't. So evidently, I was confusing him with Gunny Smith. You don't know if this game has any right choices. Now you're starting to get it. Now you're starting to understand. But more on that next time. We will end with a sad man in a room. This is how we end for today. Oh dear. I like the idea that my computer explodes, blowing up the house, and this is the last thing I draw. Welcome to Columbia. Life's a nightmare. Yeah. So next time we will explore further into the dungeon, where we will surely find Gunny Smith safe and sound, and everything will be fine. Yeah. So I'm certainly not gonna say that we're past the peak of the racism in this story, but we are definitely at the foot of the mountain of weird stuff. So look forward to that. That's gonna really start properly next time. Looking forward to that. Yeah, the saddest Monopoly man ever in the cell. Great. I love the weird stuff. That's why I like the game. We're also going to start getting to the point which I would consider the most questionable storytelling motif in the game. But we'll get to that. I think the idea was interesting. I think the execution was... Yeah, exactly. But we also get to hear a cool cover version of Tainted Love because good old Gregorus's brother is a plagiarist. And I will also, for the purposes of next stream, record my own song. I will steal a song from the game so that we have something to listen to while I'm drawing characters playing a guitar. I will definitely take it seriously, don't worry about it. Yeah. But enough of that. More questionable than interdimensional copyright infringement. Video games. Seems perfectly fine with no bad happenings to come. Nothing weird. This is gonna be straightforward. We'll get there, get the guns, leave. What could go wrong? Also, I realised that I said in this game there's just a lot of locked doors that you effectively find keys for. I guess this is we're in a metaphorical locked door right now, which is the ship, and we need to get the key, which is the guns. But now we need to get the guy to get the guns to get the key to get the ship. This whole area of the game is just a massive fetch quest. And we are... It was a lot deeper than I remember. I played through this the other day. But yeah. Hope people are enjoying it anyway. Need to get something for somebody and you have no idea. The people took over our thing. The Vox Populi, who were like the voice of the people. They are planning some sort of uprising or something or other. They took our ship. We need the ship to get away from here. They want guns, so they gave us a card of somebody who can get them guns. We went there, the person wasn't there, turns out he's here. We need to get guns. There is no plan here. There is a not even a skeleton, like a kind of thin exoskeleton of a plan. You know, we didn't even really have a plan when we arrived. We just had an instruction, bring us the girl, wipe away the debt. That's all we knew. We didn't have a plan. Just get the girl. Work it out yourself. Straight in the FF8 realm of plans. As far as I'm aware, in this game, we at no point walk 800 kilometers across a bridge. Who swallowed a gun to shoot the ship, to catch the person, to ride the cow, to kick the horse, to eat the dog, to vor the cat, to chase the mouse, to scare the bird, to eat the spider. You made me say vor the cat on stream. Well done. Oh, my friendly little spider died the other day. There's a little spider that's above my window. And whenever I do vocal warm-ups for stream, evidently my singing vibrated their web, and so they started running around like there was food. And I got kind of fond of that. And I called them Penelope. Anyway, they were there for like 4 months and they died yesterday. So that's a shame. That's alright, if I look up to my left, I can see 2 more. Who I will call Bert and Ernie. But they don't move when I sing. That's... Oh well. Oh no, shame. Hate my room. I live by some woods. There are gonna be spiders. I've gotten used to them at this point. Like, if there's big ones, I'm gonna get them out. I don't like big spiders, but small to medium, I'm fine. Small ones are cute. Medium ones I can deal with. Big ones, no. Oh, hey, Shrimp. How you doing? Do you remember when my Drawthrough drawings used to look like that? Oh dear. Is this working yet? Ah, no, okay. Next time, perhaps. Next time on streams. Well, actually, I don't know what's happening next time on streams, because maybe it's a Thursday morning / Thursday afternoon Dark stream. Dark has been streaming a lot of LX recently. I missed the last one. Or it could be the Thursday evening Chibi Nethers Day. How big is big? Because there are spiders the size of your hand here. Yeah, that's too big. I mean, that is big. Classifies as big. I would say, generally speaking, if it can fit on a, like... If it's roughly the size of, like, a drinks coaster, that's big. Sorry, miss. Bye. You have a chainsaw? Oh, you're at work now. Oh, dear. Sorry, miss. You watched Uncharted 3 today. Don't watch that if you don't like spiders. Oh, dear. So many spiders. But yeah. In that case, next stream, it will be Chibi Nethers, probably. Assuming Chibi is streaming tomorrow. They might not be. I'll be back Saturday with other friends, who include Chibi and Ragdoll and Dark. Chibi Nethers Day, followed by Chibi Saturday, also Dark Saturday, and Ragdat Day. Which the Valheim dev stream can confirm the concept art is not a moth. Oh, I like moths. Those are with spiders. Yeah, and then Sunday will be friend stream, etc, etc. Friday, Patreon hangout for friends. We might make a bunch of veggies, because why not? I lost half my work from the last Friday thing, and I lost enthusiasm to continue. You can answer that, Tolkien. He causes all the problems. Yeah. Also, anybody who wants to help me testing Chaos Chess, do let me know, because I am getting... That's coming along. There's honestly not a great deal to add. The sound and music, obviously, is probably the big one. But it's mostly just UI and bug fixing. So yeah, if you want to... It's a standalone thing. You don't need to have any... You don't need to have like a tabletop simulator or anything like that. It's just a Unity thing. You want that? Yeah. So yeah, let me know. I have a sneaky suspicion Chibi wants to give you chaos. It'll be double chaos because it's like Chaos Chess, but also bugs. So who knows? At the moment, I have a bug of like all the cards just suddenly gathering in the middle of the screen for no reason. So that's fun. As a gift. Yee. So yeah, whoever wants to help me with that, that would be great. I'll have a special mention in the game, obviously. Bug testers. They huddle for warmth. Bless. Yeah. I've been having Wednesday afternoons has been my my Chaos Chess days, because I'm like, hey, that means that I can actually do something and not draw all day, including the Drawthrough. So it works out. But yeah, so we're doing that. You should probably make music for that at some point. I have plans for music for that. But yes, so I'll be back on Saturday with friends, doing things. Swing. Hey. Not music. Go away, subtitle. You're wrong. You're wrong now. It's Wilderness. Oh, and now you're off center. Honestly, just get over there. Get the professional. Yes. Thank you for coming along, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I will be back when I just said I would be back, because I repeat myself approximately 4 or 5 times at the end of these streams. I'm going to stop talking now. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Look after yourselves. Thanks for stream. Thank you. Thank you for being here and having good chats. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.